Day 6, how to increase and decrease for shaping. Guys, welcome to my channel. Today is day 6 and today we are going to learn how to increase and decrease when it comes to outfits. So we are going to use an example of a skirt. Okay, so when making a skirt, you just start with your foundation chain, then you fix it like this. You fix it using a single crochet. Then you double crochet into each of the stitch hole until you get to where you started from. So you are double crocheting into each of the stitch hole. We are just going to use this as an example of increasing and decreasing. So let's just imagine that this thing that we are having here is the waist of an individual. Okay, so we are crocheting and we are starting from the waist. So after making one double crochet two times, let's just put our indicator there. One double crochet two times in each of the stitch hole, you should be getting something like this. So let's say this is the waist part of the individual. Now we are going to cause some kind of increment, which so that it can fit the hip of the person, because the hip is much wider than the waist. So you are going to cause some kind of increment, and this is how increment is. And increments happens when you make more than two or more stitches in the same stitch hole. Okay, so let's start with row 3 where we're going to do increment. So we start with one double crochet in each of the stitch hole, but when we get to the fourth, we'll do 2 double crochet into the stitch hole. So the next we have one double crochet. Then when we get to the fourth, we'll do 2 double crochet in that same stitch hole. When it comes to increment, the more you double or your stitch holes, your stitches in one stitch hole, it increases the area. Okay, so we are trying to create increment in all the sizes. So on the fourth, we do 2 double crochet instead of 1 double crochet. Okay, so let's do this till we get to where we started from or where our stitch marker is. Right guys, so you can see that now the shape is being, or our work is gradually widening up. So we've done with this. Now on the next row, we are just going to make 1 double crochet in each of the stitch holes. Anytime you create an increment, the next row you don't continue increasing, you just level it up with a 1 double crochet or any of the stitches, or 1 stitch in one hole. If you don't do this and you kind of continue with the double crochet again, 2 double crochet again in a stitch hole, you realize that your increment will be so sharp. So anytime you make one row, when you create some increment with one row, the next row you make just 1 double crochet in each of the stitch holes so that it will make your work look perfect. Now let's continue with increasing again. So with the next row now we are free to increase, and I told you that increment, when it comes to increment, you do more 2 or more stitches in one stitch hole. So this time you are going to cause the increment in different stitches. So remember the first one we did it on the 4th. So this one, let's have increments on the 3rd or in the 3rd stitch hole. Okay, so in every 3rd stitch hole we are going to do 2 double crochet in that stitch hole instead of 1 double crochet in the others. Okay, so we are making 2 double crochet in this one. Now the next 1 double crochet, then 2 double crochet, so 2. Okay, in this stitch hole, the next will take 1 so on in every 3rd. We are not using every 4th again because we are trying to make our skirt balance. Okay, so if you keep on increasing on the 4th, or let's say on the 5th or 6th or anything, you realize that your work, one part will be kind of bigger than the other part, but we want the increment effect to affect all areas of our skirt. So, and I'm using this spacing because this one is just a small something, a sample. It doesn't mean that when you are working on a real skirt, you have to increase on every 3rd row or on every 4th row. But normally with bigger skirts, what I do is when it comes to increment, I increase on every 7th stitch hole, or let's say 10th stitch hole or 12th stitch hole. Okay, so it depends on the skirt that you are working on and how sharp you want your increment to happen. So the trick here is anytime you want to increase something or an outfit or anything you want to cause an effect, make 2 or more stitches, whether double crochet, single crochet, any of the stitches, 2 or more of them in a stitch hole. Okay, in a stitch hole, and there should be intervals, and the intervals should be even. Okay, when we are taking 1 row and we are making double crochet or 2 double crochet in the 5th stitch hole, you have to continue with it. Then the next time you change it. Now after work, you realize that after this row it has increased. So after every increment we make a normal row where there will be no increment, just to see how well our increment has been done or how well the effect has been done. Okay, so let's keep on. So with this next row, because we just want to see how our work or how our increment has been done, we go on with our 1 double crochet in each of the stitch hole so that it doesn't make our work irregular. So this is at the end of our work. After making our row, you could see that our skirt has been formed. Of course, if you want the shape of your skirt to be like this, you can end this way. But sometimes you just want your skirt to have a decrement, or you want it to decrease so that it will fit the thigh, so that it will become like a kind of pencil kind of skirt. So let's learn how to decrease when it comes to shaping outfits. So let's say we've done with our increment. With decreasing, instead of with decreasing, okay, so if you want to end your work, you can just slip stitch and you end it when it comes to outfits like this. Then you tie it and you cut it so that you get your skirt. But we want a kind of pencil kind of skirt. So we are going to continue, but with this time, we are not going to increase, we are going to decrease. And when it comes to decreasing, we skip stitch holes instead of increasing in stitch holes. So the difference between increment and decrement is that with decreasing your work, you need to skip stitch hole instead of making more stitches in that stitch, or you just skip that stitch. So we are going to skip. So we've done with the 1, 2, 3. So we want to cause some decrement over here. So we are skipping every 3rd stitch hole. So in the 4th, you continue with your double crochet. The 5th, you continue with the double crochet. Then you skip. So with decreasing, you just skip any stitch hole that you want, or make it even so that the effect will spread across your outfit. So you decrease by skipping, and you increase by increasing the number of stitches in one stitch hole. So let's finish with that and see how it turns out to be. Yeah, just like the increment, with every decrement, the next row that you work on, you just make your normal 1 double crochet or 1 stitch in 1 stitch hole, okay, so that you know how well the effect has been created. You don't decrease and decrease again in the next stitch hole, otherwise your effect will be so much that you won't really notice it. So we just have our 1 double crochet, and when we get to where, you remember that we skip this place, you are not going to do 2 double crochet because we skip. You just go on with your normal, because this one so you just go on with your normal 1 double crochet in each of the stitch hole. Okay, you're going to do this to us. So when we get here to, we just have 1 double crochet over here, then we keep on till we get to where we started from. So after working your 1 double crochet on it, you realize that our work is gradually decreasing, or is becoming narrow. Okay, so on the next row, let's do some decrements, and this time our decrements, yes, let's do it on the 3rd. Okay, so we are decreasing again by skipping stitch holes. Right, so after finishing, let's have a normal 1 double crochet in each of the stitch hole, and this is what you have. So the more you decrease, the more your work gradually shapes. Okay, so this is our skirt. Of course, you can continue with it to decrease it, okay, just to fix your tie or something. So this is our work. This is how we increase and decrease shapes. Okay, so depending on anything that you are working on, you want to increase and decrease, this is how you do it. Increasing by increasing the number of stitches in the stitch hole, decreasing by skipping stitches. That's the rule. Guys, thank you so much for watching my tutorial. I'll see you tomorrow same time on how to read patterns.